Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I'm back at Euston Wall again, as always. Yeah, similar to the other videos that I've done recently, it's just my one-arm stuff again. Going to try some different routes that I've not done with just the one hand so far. Starting with one of these V0s, red or purple, probably do both of them in a minute. Yeah, should be relatively straightforward, both of them I think. But some of these purple holds, as I found out before, are a bit deceptive. They look like jugs, but they're more slopey, so I have to be quite careful, go as statically as I can to them and see how we get on. But yeah, for this video, pretty much just one arm climbing again. Maybe do some kind of thumb pressing with the left hand on some later stuff on some slabs, but we'll just see how it goes, and I hope you enjoy it. Pretty good start to the video. That I felt quite flowy. Didn't feel like I was fighting too hard or pulling too hard. I was in quite a good rhythm doing that. And yeah, the dead pointing was nice and accurate, and it was quite, yeah, just really precise when I was going for the holds. Got my momentum right, got my body positioning right when I was catching the holds as well. Obviously a few of these are side pulls, so got my body in the right place to catch them well, and yeah, that was a good start. Okay, onto the purple V0 now. And like I say, I think some of these holds are deceptively slopey, they're not that juggy. So I'm gonna have to be more accurate, get my feet in a good position before I go up for them. And yeah, not throw too hard towards them. Try and get the dead point correct and be flowy like I was on the red. But at least this is more of a down pulling climb all the way. So yeah, should be okay as well. Cool. Yeah, they were a little bit more in-cut than I thought they might be, but it's still a good thing that I went to them precisely because I thought that they were going to be slopers. It kind of forced me to be a lot more accurate when I went for them, rather than just kind of pulling my way up. I could use my feet, my body positioning and my momentum more effectively, so that was good as well. Okay, I'm going to move on to something more challenging now. I don't know if this is going to be possible with just my right hand, but that's what we're going to try and see if it works or not. It's this Wasp. It is a V2 and it's quite crimpy all the way, so a bit more taxing on the fingers and the forearms. And yeah, these holds are going to be awkward to catch just based on the way that they're angled. But yeah, goes all the way up to these second last holds, up to the top one there. And I've got a foot chip just down here on the left as well, so yeah, should be, I think it's possible with one hand, but we'll find that out when we get on there. Okay, so just looking at this and trying to read it from the ground, I think crux move could be one of the first ones coming up to this hold. I think I'm going to have to sink quite a lot over this with my hips and bend my legs and keep my body quite low. And I'm not going to go for this hold, I'm going to go for the one higher up because it's more down pulling. The difficulty then comes again that there's no feet in this area. So generating from that hold, which is pulling this way, to get to the next hand is going to be very, very challenging. I think similar to the first moves, I'm going to have to get my right foot on probably the lower of the two and shift my hips and my weight all the way to the right and keep my legs bent and center of gravity very low over this hold in order to come across into it to then release to catch this way, which is going to be, yeah, particularly challenging. From that, I think the rest will be fine. I've got good feet on both sides, so that shouldn't be an issue, but I think the two crux moves will be kind of the first two moves that I try, 2 or 3 moves. Yeah, it might be that I need to bring my left foot a bit lower, unlike what I first thought. I have to bring it down to the lower hold instead, just so I can then actually get more weight over to it. Because otherwise I had to lock out quite a long way to the left, which would mean that my arm would get straighter and pushed to the side, rather than being more in this position. So I'll try it again with my left foot on the lower of the 2 holds. Yeah, that next section is definitely going to be the crux. I initially was thinking about getting my right foot on this, but I think that's going to be more challenging. The problem I've got with what I was just doing, if I have my right foot on this, when I go for the next hold, I've got no tension in the other direction to stop me swinging out this way. So yeah, that move is going to be the crux. But if I can do that, then I can do the whole route. So just gonna have a little rest, watch the footage back, have a little think about what I can do, and then try again. Okay, just from watching the footage back, I think it's gonna be a very difficult move regardless. I have my right foot on this one, and I tried to change and put my left foot on here. I think what I might do instead is maybe try and step a bit higher and get the right straight onto this. And as soon as it's on there, without really thinking or waiting too long, I wanna then throw straight to the next hold. And I get the feeling that I'm not going to be able to catch it with my right foot on and just flagging. So I might end up kicking my left leg to stop the swing behind me, like this, which can be quite awkward. Or I'll have to change feet and get my left foot on and then right foot flagging, which is going to be very difficult. So I'll give that a go. But yeah, I think I need to get my right foot a little bit higher and throw and commit straight away to the next move. But once I'm on that, I'm pretty confident I should be able to do the rest. So we'll see. Got the dead point wrong on that again. Caught the hold when I was falling away from the wall rather than at the dead point when I was much closer, so to make sure that I put in a little bit more. That move is going to be very hard, very tricky. I always need to square up to the wall first and get my right foot on this to go up to that move. But the issue is my flexibility when I come into here. As is before, when I'm in this position, my feet are bent, my knees are bent, sorry, hips are a long way out. With 2 hands, I'd fight that easily. But with 1 hand, I don't think I can hold on to that, so that's going to be tough. Oh, that's challenging. If this foothold was a bit further to the right, that would be doable that way, but so far to the left, I'm losing tension through the foot when I go up because I'm pushing this way and I'm pulling in the same direction. I need some kind of opposing force. Like I say, if the foot was further this side, then I could apply more force in this direction, which would keep me balanced. But at the minute, trying to push this way on this hold is, yeah, not really possible with my right foot. So that is going to be the hardest part to figure out, getting up to there. Okay, what I'm going to try now, similar to what I thought about doing before, I'm going to get my right foot on this, in this position when my body's here, and then I'm going to throw to the right hand, but by leaving my right foot on this one, it means that the left foot is free here. So when I've thrown up to that hold, I can get the left foot on really quickly to take a bit of weight off the right, and hopefully it'll be enough. There won't be loads, but I'll obviously be swinging this way. Hopefully it'll be enough to get my left foot on, and then I can kick my right foot out onto this, just to stop the swing. And yeah, I have to fight really hard with the fingers as well to try and stay on that, but I think it could be doable like that, so we'll see. Really hard to generate from that position. I think what's happening is this hold is in the way of my knee. So I want to place my knee here and get close to the wall, but I can't because of this, which is pushing it out. So I'm forced to put my knee to this side to get as close to the wall as I can, but that makes the move a lot harder. So yeah, tricky one. Feels closer, but it still feels very challenging. I'm actually thinking that I might throw to the higher of the two holds. I think the issue is that when I stand up, I'm catching the right hand a bit low at the minute, which means I'm not as close to the wall. When I stretch my arm a bit further up, I'll be catching it a bit closer in, which might stop me swinging out. I initially went for the lower hold because it's a little bit more downpulling, but the higher hold might be a little bit easier because it's further away, which means my hips and my body will be a bit closer to the wall. So I might try throwing again, but to the higher of the two holds, and see how that goes. Oh, I got more of a catch on that hold in the end, but what I knew was going to happen, as I thought, is my body was going to swing all the way around, which it did, and then I just couldn't keep tension through the foot or stop the swing, and then that forced me and threw me off the wall. So I think, like I said, it's easier to go for the higher hold because my arm's a bit straighter, so my body's in a bit closer, but stopping that swing is tough. And also changing feet when I'm more stretched with my body is going to be more difficult than if I'm a little bit less stretched. So if there's not one problem, there's another problem, eh? Yeah, I have to try and think how I'm going to stop that swing, and that's going to be very challenging. Oh, getting quite tired now. Putting a lot of force through my fingers. Forearms, yeah, pumpy on my right hand, and it's very physical moving up all of these. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this one. I do think it's going to be too much of a challenge. The swing is just so uncontrollable once you catch the hand. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to stick this, unfortunately, so I'm going to move on to something else. Not sure what yet, going to have to figure that out. But yeah, I'll move on to some other routes and yeah, see if we can climb those instead. Okay, I'm going to move on to this red V1 now. I think it should be a good challenge. Starts with one hand here and one here. So I'll probably start with just my right hand on this one, I think. Quite a nicely in-cut hold. And then there's a foot lower down here and a foot here. Goes up to this hand. And then there's a foot on this volume. And tricky move into this side pull. I think it's going to be the crux, getting out to this without falling off. And then there's a couple of holds before the last at the top there. So I think this will be a good challenge for just the right hand. It's going to be tricky to position my body well enough so I don't fall off. And yeah, we'll give it a good go and hopefully send it. Yeah, that's the move that I knew would be tricky. I'm going to have to change feet, I think, and change them very quickly and very precisely, which is going to be tough, and probably flag my right foot onto this to stop the swing. Once I've done that, I think the rest of it should be okay. This is going to be the crux move, similar to that V2, just stopping that swing with one hand. Oh, good. Yeah, ended up not changing feet, but I pulled quite a lot. I don't know if you noticed with my left foot on this. I might show that in slow motion on the replay. And that actually allowed me to make the swing a little bit less, because yeah, I was pulling my toe in this direction, made that swing a bit smaller, and then it also meant that when I did swing through, my foot kind of came nicely on top of this, and all I had to do was kick the right foot out onto the wall to balance. So yeah, that was quite a good solution to quite a difficult challenge, to be honest with you. So yeah, and then like I say, from there the rest of it was okay, not too much to think about, could walk the feet up okay, and then the holds weren't too bad to hold on to. So yeah, good little challenge on that V1 red there. Okay, and then just next to that V1 red is this V1 orange. A lot of leftward pulling holds, which suits the one hand. I think it will be quite tricky. Towards the end, I'm gonna have to reach a long way over with the left, to the left with the right hand, to reach one of the pockets on the second last hold. But I think my feet should be in a good enough position when I'm up there in order to do that. So this one will be quite challenging, but I think it's doable as well. Oh. Yeah, tough move that. The feet aren't great. I just missed the pocket in the optimal place. I called it too low. I think a little bit higher up, it looks like it's a little bit better. So yeah, if I catch that in a better position next time, it should be doable. And also, I don't think my body was in enough to the wall when I went for it. I didn't push in this direction far enough and get my hips across. So my body was a lot further out, and I was really fighting on the hold rather than kind of sinking into it nicely. So I'm going to try that again after a little bit of a breather, and then yeah, I think once I get that move, I think I should be able to do the rest pretty straightforward, as long as I can change my feet with the one hand on to get the left foot off, and then once I'm there, the rest of it should be okay. Okay, I've had a decent rest now. I'm feeling a bit sore in the arm, so I want to get this done in one go. And I think the main thing, like I said before, is just making sure that I catch that hold right. If I get it in the right position and I get my body into the wall in the right way, I think that should be okay. And then from that, the rest of the climb should be all right as well. So yeah, gonna jump on now and give it another go. Oh, that is going to be tricky. I really used a lot of energy up to try to fight that. Obviously I would go with the left hand, but I'm trying to do it with just the right, so really difficult to stop myself swinging out this way and keep just the right foot on this. So it might be instead. That's quite sketchy as well. I'm thinking it might be that I keep my left foot on this and hook a heel on one of these, but then doing that with no hands and just holding and balancing all the way over this way, I think it's going to be quite sketchy. So yeah, this one might be another one that's not possible, unfortunately. I'll give it one more go after a bit of a breather, because that was very physically draining, just fighting on that, and see if we can do it. Okay, I've just had a rest now for a little while. I think I'm going to try what I said, which is keeping the left foot on this rather than trying to change feet, and using one of the holds on the right as a heel or maybe a toe hook to come across. When I was stood on the left hold, my hand was very, very close to the hold that I'm going for, and my face was kind of right next to it. So it's not that far that I'm going to have to go, and not that long I'm going to have to hold the swing for with just my feet. So I think it could be doable that way. It's probably my last go. It's very physical, this one. Yeah, I think that's the way that I'm gonna be able to do it, is by keeping my left foot on and stopping the swing with my right foot for, you know, maybe half a second or so. So we'll see how it goes. Didn't really like the heel in that. More of a mental block again, because if I don't catch the swing with my hand and I've got my heel, I've got like a heel toe cam stuck in that. If I then fall off and the heel doesn't slip, then my foot's going to be in a really awkward place that might cause me to snap my ankle or something stupid like that. So don't love that move. It was relatively close, but I didn't feel like I was that close to catching it, so probably not going to risk it. Don't want to do anything stupid. Move on to something else instead. Okay, I'm going to move on back to a slab ball. I'm going to try this V1 purple. I think it should be doable. The volumes kind of push your body out quite a long way, which is making it more difficult when I've only got one hand, but I think it should be possible. The holds are pretty good. The feet certainly are very good. So I think you should be able to balance well enough, even though I'm quite a long way out from the wall. And do the route with one hand, so we'll see. Happy with that one. Didn't really use my right too much at all. It was a lot more just for balance. It was very static. Yeah, I wasn't really dead pointing, wasn't really pulling through the right. It was all just footwork, flow, body positioning. So that was quite a fun one to just practice that and not put any strain really at all through the right hand. That was good. I'm feeling ambitious again, so we're going to try the blue V4. I think the crux is going to be going up to the big panel. I think that's going to be the hardest part with one hand, because normally you'd have a left on this. I'd have to have my right on that, which is going to make my body all bunched up and awkward. But the foot's okay. I think it's just far enough out, so the volume shouldn't push me out too much. But yeah, hopefully I can just trust the feet and stand up balanced and go from there. But we'll see how we get on. Wow, I almost fell off about 3 different times on that. I was really fighting hard. I thought I'd be able to stay on this, but my foot kept slipping on the left, so I brought it down to this one. I just managed to grab onto the bar. And yeah, right at the end, my fingers almost slipped off, but I could just get enough force to keep my body in and stop me falling off. But yeah, that was really cool. Didn't think I'd be able to do a V4 with one hand, but that's quite cool. Yeah, really tricky move as well, very balancy. Obviously, when I have my right hand on this hold, and and I kind of did a arabesque almost with my left foot up, and then was managed to stand on this and release both hands and come up to the right. So yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, cool enough I think to end the video on. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed that one. There was quite a few different challenging routes in this. Certainly really tested me quite a lot, pushed it quite hard on a few of them. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one at the end because I didn't really use my hands too much, certainly for a V4 with one hand. So yeah, really happy with that one. Great one to end on. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out loads. I really appreciate it. But most importantly, as always, as you know, make sure you grab life by the plums, and I'll see you in the next one.